Hello there guys, it's Stephen here back with another video, and today I'm taking a very close look at Manchester City's Carabao Cup game tomorrow against Preston North End, a team doing very well currently in the Championship. So I'm going to look at them a little bit today and talk about this game. I want to say thank you as ever to OneFootball for sponsoring this channel, for being absolute stars as ever, supporting me, being a fantastic app as well. You can go and download it in the link in the description below as ever. It's free, it has all the info that you need about Manchester City. It's absolutely brilliant. What's not to love? Go download it because it's dead good, I promise you. But today we're going to talk about Manchester City. We're going to look forward to this game a little bit and have a bit of a casual talk about this game, what we can expect from it, my thoughts on the Carabao Cup, what youth players could be involved in, all that kind of stuff, and what we can expect from tomorrow. I am going to the game tomorrow. I'm going to be in the away end, so if you do see me, please feel free to say hello because I don't mind saying hello. It's nice. I'll be with Nicola, possibly with my dad as well, so it'll be good to see some friendly faces there. But this game's an interesting one. Before I go into the actual team and all that kind of stuff, is I like the Carabao Cup. I'm a massive advocate of it. I think it's a really fascinating tournament. I think it's important. I think a lot of people give it a lot of stick that it doesn't necessarily deserve. And I think in general, it's really useful. It's a very useful tournament in many ways. For one, you get a trophy. That's pretty good. It's not only just that you get a trophy, it's when you get a trophy. You get it in February, towards the end of February, which is nice and early on in terms of the running at the end of the season. And if you win it, you get a nice kind of positive boost. You get that early taste of silverware, which is something that none of the other cup competitions can actually offer. You get that, which sets you up nicely for the end of the season. It shows the players just how good it feels to win a trophy, and it kind of pushes them over the line potentially. It gives them that little bit of a thirst, a little bit of a taste for the bigger successes, and there's nothing wrong with that. And for the fans as well, they get a trip to Wembley, and there is absolutely nothing better than going to Wembley and watching your team pick up a trophy. And it's a damn sight cheaper than the FA Cup final as well. It's considerably cheaper, and you get the same experience, and potentially you get to win a trophy early on in the season. What's not to love about that? And also as well, usually, as we'll get onto in a bit, the lineups are quite interesting. As someone, as a Manchester City fan who's got an interest in the academy, I really enjoy this stage of the domestic tournaments, especially the Carabao Cup, because it's where you see teams usually be at the most creative in terms of the selections. It's where you usually get to see potentially a star kind of like get their first kind of outing, something like maybe something like a Tommy Doyle or something like that. You get to see the next potential. You got to look back a couple of years ago when we saw the likes of Phil Foden in the squad there, and it was really exciting, and Brahim was all and that kind of stuff. And last season we saw, you know, who was it? We saw Paveda play, we saw Felix and Lemaitre get on. It's good to see these young lads involved, and that's what I like about this tournament. The fringe players, the ones that you're interested in seeing, the youth players, they get a chance to make a bit of the names themselves. You're usually playing some team that you don't really know. Actually, well, often we do tend to play the usual teams, but it's basically a little bit of a respite. It's a good way to see the next generation. You get to win the trophies I mentioned earlier. There's a lot to like about the Carabao Cup in general. It's fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously. In general, I absolutely love it, which is why I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's Preston as well. We've not been there for absolutely ages. Preston, though, at the moment are pretty good. They're like, where are they in the table? I think they're like 5th or something like that. Let me have a quick look at the league table. Either way, I know they are unbeaten in 5 games, winning one of them. So they're in a decent run of form. They're currently third. They're third in the table. They're only 1 point off the top of the league at the moment. 16 points to Leeds United 17. They're doing very, very well, which is also a good and a bad thing. They're good doing well, so obviously the confidence will be high. So that's a bad thing. But at the same time, they are playing Bristol at the weekend. Bristol City are currently sat in 7th, so they're a good team. Only 1 point behind Preston, a team also chasing for the playoffs and maybe promotion. So they'll be thinking, well, we've got one eye on that. So they'll probably want to rest a few players. So that's good for us. They may play a few of the reserves that need some football because they probably don't see Manchester City in the Carabao Cup as a competition of any real importance. Preston want to be back in the big time. Or say back, they want to get into the big time. They want to get into the Premier League. And this is a good chance for them. They have got some decent players, you know. I've not watched a lot of them, obviously, but I know like Ben Davies, he's probably Premier League quality. He's a really good player. You've got Alan Brown, he's a good midfielder. Ben Pearson, a tough tackling ex-United player. He does pick up yellow cards, but he's decent. Paul Gallagher pulling in the strings. I'm not sure they're all fit, but this is what I know from my research. Brown is a bit of a box-to-box, but he's kind of like attack-minded. He's crafty, apparently, and scores plenty of goals. So they have got some players that we have to keep an eye on. They have got a team currently in form, as I said. You look at the results recently. They beat Birmingham 1-0 away from home. They beat Brentford 2-0 at home. They did draw to Nottingham Forest, and in the previous round they drew to Hull. But they did make a lot of changes in that game, by the way, for what it's worth. In the 2 previous rounds of the Carabao Cup, they made several changes, so I suspect they'll do something very similar here. And they beat Stoke 3-1. They've done pretty well so far this season. As I said, they're currently sat in good form, so I'm expecting them to put up a bit of a fight. In terms of us, this will be a game where we see loads of changes, of course. Claudio Bravo will, of course, come into goal. That makes a lot of sense. He'll be our cup keeper for those kind of competitions. Maybe the FA Cup, I don't know, but he'll definitely be involved in this one. I suspect the FA Cup as well, because Pep likes Bravo, and rightfully so. He's a good bloke with a lot of experience, and he was in good form as well in pre-season. So it'll be Bravo in goal, I reckon. And Cancelo, I think, will finally get a start, and just about banging time as well. We saw him obviously get quite a few minutes at the weekend. Well, I say quite a few, just a decent amount compared to nothing. So I suspect he will start in this game. It's at centre-back where it gets a little bit more interesting. Eric Garcia will start, as we know. He definitely will start. It's pretty obvious. Guardiola did say this about Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He said, from now on, he will train with us. Whether he'll play or not, we'll see. I saw him pre-season. He's aggressive. He wins duels. He pays attention. The guys from the academy spoke really well about him before pre-season. And as he said, whether he'll play, I don't know. So, I don't think he'll start. I think it'll be Fernandinho again, actually. I think Fernandinho will lie alongside Eric Garcia will be a good way for him to get a little bit more experience in the centre-back role. It'll be good for Eric Garcia, it'll be good for Fernandinho. I think those two will play together because I think he needs it. And obviously we're not playing until the weekend, so he's got a few days to recover after that. And at the moment, Fernandinho could just do with some games in general. You know, he's not quite as in a box-to-box role as he was normally, so he won't be quite as tiring on Fernandinho's legs. So I think he'll start there. It could be Otamendi, of course, but I think it'll be Garcia and Fernandinho. And that means I think we'll probably complete the lineup that we saw at the weekend when we're towards the end of the game. I think Angelino will start this one. I think it'll be Angelino with Mendy on the bench. I've just got a feeling, it's just an instinct. It could be Mendy, of course, but I think it'll be Angelino, and if not, just switch one of those two round. In midfield, this is where it gets interesting. I don't think Rodri will play. I actually think it might be Zinchenko as a central midfielder, as a defensive midfielder where he plays for Ukraine. That's my bold prediction. I'm going for Zinchenko there with Gundogan and Phil Foden above him. Now, Phil Foden wasn't in the team photo today, which is kind of weird. Strange, very strange. But I think it'll be Foden and Ilkay Gundogan in midfield. So Zinchenko, Gundogan and Foden, which is a strange midfield, but we'll see how it gets on there. After that, I think we will see... I wonder if we'll see Sterling given he didn't play at the weekend. I don't know. I'm going to say Mahrez on the right. I think Mahrez will want a game at the moment. I think he's chomping at the bit to get some game time. So I think it'll be Mahrez. Gabriel Jesus is obviously going to play through the middle. It makes too much sense. Then on the left, this is where it kind of gets interesting. I actually think we'll see probably Poveda. Poveda's been travelling and training with the first team for absolutely ages. And I think Guardiola is quite loyal to some players. I think Poveda will probably start. If not, it might be Bernabe. Bernabe, it could be him, but I think it'll be Poveda there. On the bench, in terms of academy players, I know a lot of people want to see some academy players, but I think it'll be limited to just kind of Garcia, really, and Angel. I don't think they're even academy players anymore. I think it'll just be Garcia. Maybe Harwood-Bellis will be on the bench. I think he might be. I think Tommy Doyle might be in for shout on the bench as well. Tommy was obviously very impressive in pre-season. I think he'll be around it. A lot of people want Jaden Braff on there, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. I think Bernabe is actually ahead of him at the moment, so I think it'll be Bernabe, Harwood-Bellis and Tommy Doyle as the academy prospects on the bench. I hope it's Braff because that'd be excellent, but I suspect it'll probably be the likes of Sterling, David Silva and all that lot. It's basically some senior players in case we need them. I think it'll be fun though. I think we should be winning this game, we're being totally honest. Manchester City, you know, they'll make changes, we'll make a load of changes, and I suspect I will see one or two stories. I want to see Foden play. I want to see him really dominate the game. I want to see Foden try and dictate play that we know that he can do. I want to see the Foden that we see sparkle every now and then for England under 21s. I don't think he's fully happy at the moment. I think he wants game time. I think he's very polite and nice and all that kind of stuff. But I do genuinely believe he's probably a little bit frustrated, which is understandable because he's seen the likes of Mason Mount and obviously Tamori, Tammy Abraham, all these young English players get plenty of press and coverage at the moment. And he's probably thinking, I want a bit of that. And rightfully so. It must be very frustrating seeing all your peers start to play football. And he's at the age now, definitely, where he needs to be playing football. I'm not going to worry about his burnout and all that kind of stuff. So fingers crossed we'll get to see him. And also Angelino, I hope he plays because I think him starting, I think he's impressive at the weekend. I think his cameo is really good. He's a good footballer. I'm not saying he's great defensively, he definitely isn't, but going forward he's very sharp, he's very intuitive, he's very fluid, he's very clever the way he links up with players, and I'd love to see him get a chance left back to show how good he could actually be. I suspect it'll be a bit of a messy game as ever with these kind of matches. When you take so many players out of the team, fluidity and chemistry just simply isn't there, so you've got to understand that it's going to be a bit all over the place, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's totally fine if the players aren't at their sharpest his best. That's fine, as long as they put in performance and get through the stages. I think we need to go through in this tournament to keep certain players happy. I think we need to keep these legs fresh and give them opportunities. And a tournament like the Carabao Cup lets us rotate players. It lets them get some game time. It lets us play some of the youth players. I think it's important that we're actually in it, and I hope and I suspect that we will be. I think we'll do just about enough to get through. I think it'll be fun, and I can't wait to go. But I think we'll probably scrape through like 2-1 or something like that. I'm not expecting a great performance. I am expecting it to be fun, though, in general. An interesting game. Fingers crossed we see a few academy lads. Fingers crossed we get through to the next round. Guys, let me know what you think it's going to be like tomorrow. I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to the game. If you see me there, as ever, as I said, say hello. It's always nice to say hello to some friendly blue faces. For now, though, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all the usual stuff, and I'll see you tomorrow when I get back for a video in a bit.